Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Battle Brothers Season 3. As today, we've got a war to win, which at this point is largely just a formality. But we do have quite a walk ahead of us, since Urlach is, of course, on the far side of the map. But that's fine, we'll make the most of it, pick off some targets of opportunity, maybe scout some fog of war. But before we get to any of that, we've also got Rax's final full level up. For indeed, our mighty axe-wielding warrior has hit level 11 in record time, too. And, I mean, I've considered some other options, but I think we've got to go with Recover. As we saw during the big Battle of Oberberg, he was definitely sucking wind once or twice. Though this... Ooh, yeah, we'll take that melee, we'll... Oh man, I'm tempted to go RDef, but since this is his final full level up, we might want to focus on numbers instead, in which case... Fatigue and Initiative? Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. And then all subsequent legacy levels will go towards melee, defense, and then a very brief detour to round out health and resolve at 60. But otherwise, he's pretty much set. Congratulations, Rax! And, you know, maybe leave a few kills for the rest of us. That said, yeah, so long way to go to get down to Urlach. Definitely won't make it today, but we'll take it one step at a time. First stop, Loundstat. But I do suspect we'll have some targets of opportunity en route. Barbarian Reavers. Good rookie fodder. Oh, but also Reavers and Chosen, which is a mite bit more risky, though also potentially more lucrative. Yeah, okay. I think we can do this. We'll go ahead and take on the Reavers as we are, then we'll front load for the Chosen. On the weary road back to Oberberg, the raiders once again waded through the fetid spider swamps. And as they did, a group of northern ne'er-do-wells once again spied them from afar. They had watched them on the way in as well, but had been, at that time, smart enough not to attempt to intervene, perhaps realizing that the raiders were far beyond their capabilities. Now, though, bloodied and scuffed as they were from the recent battles, the precocious primitives decided it was time to roll those dice, not realizing that the only thing about to roll were their heads. The first Reaver upon their line was greeted with a heavy censer to the face, reeling back, coughing, spitting up blood and teeth. But the rest rushed in unabated, spears and heavy bronze javelins coming out. Rassel rushing in, blocking their shots. Sigmar stepped up, blade already in motion. The closer axeman lunged out of the way, but the bludgeoner behind him was not so lucky, the blade slicing halfway through his elbow. Cetrus caught one across the hand, cracking his knuckles. Tommy lobbed a shot, javelin spiking through a barbarian bludgeoner's throat. Arrow finished the gurgling goon off. I hate that people have ruined that word. It's such a good generic term for random mooks. A scattershot blast on the south. A toothless tribal tossed to the turf. Mark then sidestepped, moving closer to center. And Rax stepped up. A cleaving strike. An enemy axeman's arm left dangling by a thread. Diego moved up on north, Warily watching a club-wielding cad. Rook steps south, finishing the one-armed axeman. Nice, nice. Good show from Sig and Mal. A light strike on Giannis. The gladiator still unaccustomed to combat outside an arena. More flailing from Random, an enemy disarmed. A toss from Tommy. And he's wrestled to the ground. The one-armed bandit falls. Rax tears down another tribal. Then holds his ground. A blast from Mark, the remaining Reavers reeling. Mal already tearing one to bloody ribbons. A flurry from Bowman. Arrows all but raining across the survivors, too, collapsing where they stand. Whilst Cetrus shatters a skull. Nice. Seymore cuts off an escape. Rax wades in, ready to lend his imposing presence. And the rest of the Raiders rally. Though, at least some effort is put towards trying to give the rookies the kills. Though I do think most are too far. Yeah, we're really tempting fate. We'll give Giannis a shot, then we'll probably just cut them down. Hey, there we go. Opponent cowed. Giannis makes short work of him, beating the man broken and bloody before him. "Are you not entertained?" he cries. "Sorry, you talking to me?" Rax asked, glancing around uncertainly. And the final foe fell, head split asunder, neath random flail. Also, level up for Diego. And some decent loot. I mean, the two-handers are worth a fair bit. Sadly, we don't have enough tools to actually fix them up, but should still fetch a few grand. As for the Chosen. Yeah, we want to go all out on these guys. Which I think does mean we need to tag Verlin back in, at least temporarily. As the raiders dispatch the unruly reavers, their cries carried across the spider swamp. Another pack of nearby ne'er-do-wells drawn by the sounds of their screaming. "Finish looting the bodies," Rax nodded to the rookies. "We'll take care of this." "Indeed we shall," Verlin nodded, readying his shield. Also, I guess, Diego saw the Matrix code and spontaneously got better because I forgot we hadn't done his level up yet. And 10 means fearsome, but I do think his final will be backstab. I mean, we could use that fatigue. No, we'll round out initiative. But I do think that's apt to be the last time we raise it. We get one more level up, so hopefully that'll give us a decent fatigue roll. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good. I am slightly worried about Trip and Verlin, but not really seeing much in the way of other options. To those who are about to die, etc., etc. The vengeful Chosen intercepted the raiders just as they left the confines of the Spider Swamp. The baying howl of hirsute heralds marked the first engagement. 2 large, mangy mutts eagerly bounding into the fray, only to swiftly be silenced. A grisly task as always, but one that must be done. One falls on south to Random's flail, even as the Reavers come rushing in. A feral, throbbing beat thrums from the distant dark. And Verlin moves up, warily watching 2 plated plunderers. The one smart enough to wait until the rest have engaged. Valin tears into the masked miscreants. A flurry of tosses and one falls. Zarmal jukes wide, discouraging a doggo in passing. Trip slips in, clipping a Chosen with his dagger. And Rax steps up. His axe bites deep, almost, but not quite, tearing a tribal in 2. The wounded warrior still moving, but blood pooling at an alarming rate. A blast from Alois keeps a few heads down. Random moving up in its wake. Rook steps up, impaling an anguished axeman. Razzle slides beside. A barbarian butcher, bonked. Zarmal jabs at a jabroni, blade finding his foot. Val cuts down another cur, body propped obscenely on the 2 javelins jutting through him. Trip whittles the Chosen. And Rax sweeps the field. 2 more bodies hit the floor. Arrow angles his aim elsewhere, slowing the second Chosen. And it works. The second Chosen circles wide, trying to avoid impalement by any other arrows. Rook hops the line, putting his pike through a Reaver's general health pool. Random rocks a row of reavers with a chosen chaser. Ribs cracked, bones snapped. None yet fall, but they're certainly not happy, especially as that toxic green smog whirls and curls around them. And the second doggo falls. Sorry, bud. The drums thrum once more. Arrow carefully taking aim. A lob shot, slightly off-center, but the drummer yelps nonetheless as a line is scored across his side. Rax wades through the hacking and coughing cretins. A head cut loose. The coughing stopping shortly after. Trip finishes the other two. And Random holds his ground. Rassel rushes in, stunning the second chosen. Verlin pushes... Oh! Oh! God! Verlin, assuming that the chosen was stunned, takes a skullhammer to the hand. A few fingers fractured. Unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Val hucks a hatchet into the hammer-wielding loose end as Arrow aims once more. This time putting a shot straight through the drummer's face. The pained percussionist has had enough. He beats a swift retreat. The rest of the raiders finish their respective foes. One blasted by Alois. Another impaled by Zarmal. A few pursue the solo drummer. And the second chosen falls, mashed by Rassel's mace. But the raiders aren't quite done. There's still one last to snare. And swarmed by doggos, the drummer finally falls. Once a drummer, now not but sticks. Also, level up for Zarmal. Not actually sure what I'm doing with him. He's not soft cap yet. I think I was still mauling. One of those I'll worry about it when I get there sort of things. And of course, shame about Verlin, but just as well. His armor was already tattered. He needs time on the bench either way. But yeah, I do feel a bit silly. I really thought that guy was stunned. I guess he must have recovered in that split second between Rassel's rush and Verlin's push. Alright, Zar, let's see what we've got going on. I mean, gut reflexes to go for fearsome. I just like having that one on tap. We already have Overwhelm. Though we also already have Recover, and Berserker Frenzy is right there. Let's see how we did on rolls. honestly, not too bad. We'll take the melee, we'll take the defense. Tempting to go for the RDef, but I really don't think I can turn down that +5 in initiative. Yeah, we'll take it. And on to Loundstat. I think at this point we should really just gun for it. But we'll keep an eye out. I am still seeing signs. I mean, that's the least threatening fight yet, but also easy XP. Step by grueling step, Loundstat draws ever closer, though as the raiders draw through a narrow, wooded pass. The creak of bowstrings, the rustle of brush. Arrow nods. We're about to get ambushed. And the raiders wearily raise their blades. Okay, so they are coming at us. I was worried they might be holding back. Can't really tell how many marksmen they've got back there. But if they're coming to us, then we'll just stay put. This is rough terrain. As these guys seem to be discovering. Bumbling and stumbling through the brush, the first bandit to emerge gets disarmed for his troubles. But the brush is a double-edged sword. Not only does it slow the bandits' approach, it also shields them from incoming fire. Not a single other shot finds its mark. But that's fine. The raiders are in no hurry. They simply hold their ground, forcing the brigands to decide between advance or retreat. A bludgeoner rushes in, finally within striking distance. Seymore chokes up on his blade. The unfortunate flailman moves closer, then gets flailed in turn. The staccato crack of ribs as he's bent and broken into the brush. An arrow from Bowman ends his squirming. A follow-up shot finding a swordsman's hand for good measure. Rassled bum rushes a bludgeoner, turning aside an attack in turn. And Seymore steps in. A sudden lunge around the stunned warrior in front of him, catching the one behind off guard. Yes, that was entirely intentional, he tells himself. Dishonorable to strike a stunned foe. But Alois disagrees. The barrel of a handgun pressed to chest. A man turned to mist in 1 bloody second. Which you would think would discourage others from rushing to take his place, but nope. Yet more come. Though Rax grows tired of waiting and takes the fight to them. Malafnoy moving up at his back. Cetrus catches a shieldman in the face. Rook leaves a Pikmin breathless. And a bandit spearman finally comes to his senses, backing away from the battle warily. Too late for the Pikmin, though. The bandit dies bloody. Valin tears through 2 more as well, spiking them to the ground. Random crushes a clubber into bloody mash. Arrow moves up. Eyes on the distant archers. Rassel rushes in. Rax bats away an annoying swordsman, the bandit's body bouncing across the turf. Mal brutally beheads a bludgeoner in 2.5 hacks. The spearman keeps stumbling away. He does seem a mite bit disoriented. Diego discourages a dastard. Wow. Rax is actually getting pretty dinged up this time out. They're not getting through his armor, but still. Bowman blind fires through brush. A yelp and a thud, marking his success. And the rest of the raiders rush in. Cetrus crushing a cranium. And the fight is all but won. The spearman's still the only one with the good sense to sprint away, though he is doing a piss poor job of it. Dude can't seem to decide which direction he actually wants to run in. Wind is unleashed. Rassel breaks a bowman and racks a pole. But 2 bandits remain, both seeking escape. Warrior is unleashed. A blistering blast. The enemy archer annihilated. And credit where credit's due. After a hard-fought, if somewhat confused attempt to flee, the spearman finally falls. Alright, let's get back to Lounstedt. We are completely tapped on space, so at this point, we're just gunning it for town. With any luck, they'll still have the sales price boosting events. It won't be great for restocking our supplies, but it will turn us a tidy profit. Shoot, arriving dead of night. We'll set up camp, cool our heels. Oh. You come across a man being buried alive. An inference you take from the fact that he's bound like a dead man, yet still screaming about the whole affair. You ask what's going on, and one of the diggers turns and holds a hand out. Keep your distance. This man is blighted, and anyone he touches becomes blighted. We don't want no disease, and neither should you. The man cries out for help as another clump of soil lands on him. He tries to climb back out of the grave, but one of the diggers kicks him back in. The kicker himself, complaining he'll have to burn his favorite boot. Kingsrook the sergeant comes over with a quieted voice. He says the man has a skin disease which might look like leprosy or a plague, but is, in fact, benign. You ask if he's sure of it, and he nods, albeit with a finger of reluctance held up. I may be wrong, of course, and if I am, then this very real disease might spawn itself upon us all. But to bury a man alive is not something I find, how do you say, scientifically compelling. Oh, you're killing me, dude. All right, we'll intervene. Really hope you're right, though. Last thing we need is half our guys down with the sickness. Gosh dang it. Rook, come on, man. In the most reluctant rescue ever, you sigh and draw out your sword, ordering the diggers to stop immediately. They look over at you, their hands on their shovels, their eyebrows far up their brows. What? Did you not hear us? The fella's blighted. Kingsrook comes forward and waves them off. You nod and gesture for the diggers to do as told. The anatomist helps the man out of the grave, though you notice he's doing it with his own sleeve and hand covered. He is helped back to the company. As the man turns to thank you, Kingsrook the sergeant drives a hammer into the back of his head, knocking him out cold. The anatomist follows him to the ground and begins to cut up the man's arm, removing a slab of flesh before backing away. This should be good enough for our studies, I believe. You ask if the man was indeed sick. The anatomist nods. Of course. But it's better if he's at least useful while sick, instead of just dead in the ground like some worm. He may, of course, go die now. There's not much left for him in this world. The man moans as he writhes on the ground. There's a bit of a jangle in his boots, which you remove to find stowed-away crowns. You briefly consider putting him out of his misery, but decide that now he's free of the grave, he may decide how he wishes to return to it. You do, however, take his money. Which feels like a really bad idea given the circumstances, but, you know, no one ever accused me of being smart, I suppose. Fun event, though, at least in that sort of messed up, dark humor sort of way. You know, just another Tuesday in Battle Brothers. I do wonder if there were other ways that event could have gone, though. I've never seen that one before, but given the way it played out, I'm assuming it was unique to anatomists. Might have to look that up. So yeah, I think it's really just, Oh, actually. Let's get a peek at that historian. Oh, no, never mind. Historians do have some fun events, but they're also academics with minimal combat skills. Even before you tag in stuff like dastardly or ailing. Which, I suppose, does bring us to a good place to call it. Not much in the way of supplies and offing, but we'll grab what we can. We should more than make up for it with the inflated prices on our sales goods. So yeah, we'll hit the pause button for now. I will take care of the off-screen bookkeeping, and we'll pick up here next time as we continue our journey back to Urlock. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Lady Shayna, Giemza, OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.